Today, we're going to be talking about a subject that many people feel Supercell isn't taken seriously enough. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Clash Tips YouTube channel. I'm TipDog20. A lot of people call this issue phishing, but in reality, phishing is the completely wrong word to describe it. When I think of phishing, I think of a Nigerian prince who sends me 100 million rubles. That's worth $837,000 if I just click this link. And when I click this link, I download a virus to my computer or they get access to my bank account. That is what I think of when I think of phishing. But when people in the Reddit community, when people who have had their accounts stolen talk about phishing, this is not the case. Sure, some of these people who complain about phishing and complain about their accounts being stolen are going in and are maybe sharing accounts or maybe buying accounts online or maybe trying to get free gems. But in reality, the true phishing, the true issue is with Supercell account security, and that has nothing to do with phishing as we currently think of it. In fact, Supercell has an entire section under fair and safe play where they describe the dangers of account sharing. They describe the dangers of trying to get free gems. They describe how ridiculous it is to buy accounts and expect that you're going to be able to keep them long term. But again, the issue is not with phishing. The issue is with Supercell itself and account security. A lot of times, Clash YouTubers and big time Clash creators are asked about this phishing issue and about all of these players who are losing their accounts. And their response is what my response was when I first looked at this issue. And that was they shouldn't be clicking on links that they shouldn't be clicking on. They shouldn't be going to accounts trying to get all these free gems. They shouldn't be buying or sharing their accounts. And what I didn't really know as I did some research is that this issue is totally unrelated, even though that's the initial assumption is that players are doing this to themselves. From the beginning, Supercell has always wanted to make it easier for the returning player. Maybe this player maxed out their Town Hall 9, maybe they maxed out their Town Hall 10, and then they deleted the game from their tablet or from their phone for a while. And then a few years later, they see Town Hall 14 come out, or they see Town Hall 15 come out, or maybe in the future, Town Hall 16 come out, and they say, oh, wow, I want to load this game, but I can't remember my login information. And so Supercell has made it easy for returning players to be able to log in. All they have to do is they have to go to the section that says, was your account lost or stolen? They go in there, they answer a few simple questions about their account, and Supercell will give them their account back. They'll give them access to their account very easily. But the problem with that is anybody else who wants to gain access to that account, who knows some very, very basic and generic information about that account, is also able to gain access to that account. In fact, again and again, we see examples of these hackers, these people who are abusing the Supercell system in order to gain access and to steal accounts, and not only steal accounts, but to steal clans. So there have been clans who have been high on the leaderboards with win streaks. There have been accounts that are super valuable because they have special obstacles on them that no other accounts have. And these hackers have been able to log into these accounts using the Supercell retrieve feature, using this retrieve my account option through Supercell. And they're able to not only steal the accounts, but they're able to get into the account of the leader of a clan that has a massive win streak. And they will do things like shut the clan down, or they will kick everybody out. They will make their own account leader, and then they will kick everybody from the clan. So these players are able to gain access to high-level accounts and high-level clans that they should have no business gaining access to. And unfortunately, these accounts and these clans are stolen from their owners because of the ease that Supercell has granted to players who want to come back to the game. If you navigate to recover my account in the Supercell help section, in this section, a player can ideally easily access their village. Maybe they've lost it as we described. The problem is when Supercell asks them questions to regain their village back. And maybe you ask, what kind of questions is it that Supercell is actually asking? Well, it's things like name, account tag, and clan. Of course, this is information that Supercell needs to know which account it is that you are trying to recover. And of course, the hacker easily has access to this information. They just have to click on the profile, and then they can give Supercell the name of the account that they want to steal. One of the other questions is the date that the account began playing. Again, this is something that can be pretty easily guessed because you can look at the obstacles. Oftentimes you can talk to the player in the clan and say, hey, when did you start playing? And a lot of times too, Supercell will give the account to whoever it is after being asked this question if they give a really random or very vague answer. So answers that have been accepted in the past are sometime in 2013 or sometime around the summer or fall of 2015. And so these hackers are able to give these very vague answers because they have a vague idea of when the account was created. And this is one that kind of clicks the check mark off for Supercell. Also, sometimes the first two letters or the first two numbers that are in a tag on a player's profile will also give hackers a solid idea of when that account is created. Again, this isn't true for all of them, but these are methods that hackers are using in order to gain access to when an account was specifically created. Another question that's asked is the location that the account was created. Oftentimes, players will be in clans that are in their home country. They will be on leaderboards that are in their home countries. So if you are from the US, for example, you will likely be in a US clan. You will likely want to be on the leaderboards for the US. It's not always true, but a hacker can look at that and can see that you're English speaking, that you're from the US, you're around a bunch of US players, or maybe you are Indian speaking and you are in an Indian clan with a bunch of Indian speakers. Then they can answer the question, where was the account created based on the current information that's available, the clan that you're in, the language that you speak, the relationship that you have with your clanmates. Another question that they ask is previous account names. A lot of account names from players are kept in databases online. That information was gotten from the API release that Supercell gave out, or maybe there was a database that was put together by previous clan families, and a lot of that information is online. And so hackers are easily able to find out what previous names were for accounts. Another question is devices that the player has played on. This, from my understanding, is the most difficult question for a phisher or a hacker to answer for Supercell in order to gain access to the account. A lot of times you can just Google the most used devices in a country. You can probably guess that it would be an iPad or some sort of Google product, and the hacker may be able to gain access. But there's an additional issue with this that I'm going to go over in just a second, and that the hacker has unlimited attempts to hack this account. Google or Supercell does not Google, Supercell does not lock down an account after a hacker has attempted to gain access to it a specific number of times. And so they're able to answer this question over and over again, and eventually they're able to get it right. Another of the questions that Supercell asks is receipt for purchases. Unfortunately, hackers are able to counterfeit a lot of these receipts, and a lot of this information also is publicly known. If you look at my account and you can see that I have the Golem King skin, then you know that I bought the Gold Pass for that month and that it was likely on the first of the month. If a hacker can produce a receipt for the month that that Gold Pass was produced, knowing that I had that Gold Pass that month, then they can fake a receipt and show Supercell. And that just again checks off another question that Supercell has asked them. Now, note that all of the information that Supercell has asked for in a player's attempt to recover an account or in a hacker's attempt to hack an account and recover that same account, none of this is private and personal information that only a player would know. All of it can be found, except for one of those questions, through the API that Supercell releases or through databases that are available online. And that one question, of course, being what type of device do you play on? But due to the fact that hackers can ask over and over again, and the only thing that they lose is a Town Hall 2, which is a burner account, Supercell will ban that Town Hall 2 account. They can restart a Town Hall 2 and then just restart the process over again, trying to rehack that account. So what can Supercell do to help prevent this problem? Number one, do not allow unlimited attempts to recover an account. If there are more than one attempts, or if a genuine player mistakes the year that they started, or maybe they mistake something else that Supercell has answered, give them another opportunity, but alert the player, alert the email that's associated with that account that someone is trying to recover the account. Maybe there's a lockdown period. If you answer the questions wrong, then you cannot ask again for another 24 to 48 hours. And in some way, they can let the player, the owner of that account, know if it's a hacker that's trying to get in, that someone is trying to access this account, someone is trying to steal this information. If there are multiple attempts to access an account, then this should trigger a higher level of account security with Supercell, and they should automatically assume that a hacker is trying to get access to this information. Maybe the hacker doesn't know the type of device that this player played on, or they don't know the year that this player started playing Clash of Clans, and so they're answering wrong over and over again. Well, with repeated attempts, Supercell should institute a higher level of security for that account, and it should automatically be flagged as an attempt from a scammer or a phisher to steal that account. The second thing that Supercell can do is they can send a confirmation email. All of us have an email that is associated with our account. And so if someone tries to recover that account, they should send a confirmation email to my email account saying, hey, this account is attempting to be recovered. Please click here to confirm that this is you. This is something that is very standard in the industry. And if I don't have access to that email account, maybe player lost access to that email account because it was associated with a work email or with a school email, then they can continue to recover that account maybe 48 hours down the road, but it at least gives the owner of the account an initial warning that someone is trying to gain access. Now, these two suggestions that have been made will not completely eliminate phishing. You will still have players that make poor decisions, that share accounts. You will still have phishers that have lots of information about an account, or maybe they have access to the original email. They will still be able to phish accounts, but it will reduce the amount of accounts that can be stolen substantially. These suggestions, which are sending an email confirmation to the player, and also not allowing unlimited amounts of tries to recover an account, those will cost Supercell very minimal amounts. The system is already set up to be able to do that. It will not cost a lot, such as the 2FA confirmation that a lot of people have suggested that Supercell implement, which will probably cost a lot of money. These are very simple changes that Supercell can implement to help players save their accounts. For players who are watching this video, maybe you're really worried that you're going to lose your account. And I would say that's a valid concern. That is a valid worry. Although there are millions and millions of accounts out there, hackers are not going to steal all of those millions of accounts. But if they have a reason to target your account or a reason to target my account, then they can very easily do so through the Supercell recovery system. So it is a reason to worry. This video is being made because there is a movement over on Reddit to help Supercell pay attention to this issue, to help Supercell realize that the easy access that they gain to a player to recover their account is also being used by hackers in order to steal accounts. You have reason to be concerned. How can you protect yourself? We're going to go over in another video, but hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully it was informative. Big shout out and big thanks to Congressman Coolrick and the guys over on the Reddit moderation system. Thank you so much for the work that you did, for the research that you did, and for helping me out with this. Look for that future video on how you can protect yourself, and hopefully together we can help Supercell implement changes that will not allow this to happen any longer.